The landscape of Manchester United is being reshaped, not just by the high-profile names on the Saturday team sheet, but by the burgeoning talent emerging from within and the strategic acquisitions designed for a future of sustained success. The most compelling narrative this week originates from the youth setup, where a seismic result has sent shockwaves through the academy system. A 7-0 demolition of Liverpool's under-18s is a statement in itself. But the individual performance of JJ Gabriel within that match is what truly captivates the imagination. To score a hat-trick at any level is a significant achievement, but to do so when you have only just turned 15 years of age, competing against players 3 years your senior, transcends mere talent and enters the realm of the extraordinary. His opening goal in that match was a piece of individual brilliance. A solo effort that showcased a level of technical ability and composure that defies his age. His adoption of the iconic EA Sports celebration only added to the aura, a modern touch from a new generation star. This performance is not an isolated incident. It forms part of a broader pattern of dominance, with 10 goals in just 9 starts at the under-18 level. His excellence has been so pronounced that it has already caught the eye of the first-team management, with Ruben Aaron integrating him into senior training sessions. This is a clear indicator of his prodigious potential. However, it is crucial to temper immediate expectations with a dose of regulatory reality. Due to Premier League regulations, a player who turns 15 during the current campaign is ineligible to make his competitive debut until the following season, when he would turn 16. This is a protective measure, and a sensible one, ensuring that a talent of such tender age is shielded from the immense physical and psychological pressures of top-flight football before he is fully developed. The pathway is clear, but patience is required. The focus should be on continued development, not premature promotion. This philosophy of building for the future is further evidenced by a significant off-field development. Manchester United have moved decisively to secure the services of Christian Rosico, a 17-year-old defensive midfielder who is currently en route to England to finalise his transfer. This acquisition is a statement of intent, a direct response to the club's strategic directive to identify and secure the next generation of elite midfield talent, to find a player who could one day emulate the impact of a Moises Caicedo. The praise lavished upon Rosico from his previous environment is exceptionally telling. He is described not just as a technical leader on the pitch, but as a character who leans through his attitude and application. The rhythm of the entire team is said to flow through him. He is the catalyst for the press, the brain that understands the nuanced tempo of a match, knowing precisely when to circulate possession with short, sharp passes and when to alter the point of attack with a more penetrative, long ball. His profile is that of a complete modern midfielder, adept at building play from deep, possessing excellent ball control and equally committed to the defensive side of the game, with a keen instinct for recovering possession. The expectation is not that he will immediately solve the first team's midfield dilemmas. That would be an unfair burden to place on a 17-year-old. Instead, his arrival signals a deepening of quality within the academy ranks. The prospect of him developing alongside other promising talents like Sekou Kone, pushing the established players in the years to come, creates a very exciting dynamic for the club's long-term midfield health. This focus on youthful potential extends into the transfer strategy for the current squad, where several intriguing opportunities are presenting themselves. Reports from Germany have revealed that striker Giuseppe possesses a release clause valued at approximately €50 million, or around £42 million. This clause is not universally applicable, but is valid for a select group of 7 clubs, which notably includes Manchester United. His statistical output this season, 9 goals and 4 assists in 17 appearances, is solid without being spectacular, but he represents a known quantity. A proven and physical out-and-out number 9. This profile stands in contrast to the current options. Joshua Zirkzee, for instance, is a player who often requires a consistent run of games to find his rhythm, a luxury he has not been afforded this season. And it is widely reported that his stylistic preferences do not perfectly align with the tactical demands of Ruben Aaron. With Anthony Martial's future at the club increasingly uncertain, a potential loan move for the Frenchman could open a slot for a new striker. Giuseppe represents a ready-made, if somewhat unglamorous, solution. However, the dilemma is clear. Is it prudent to invest £42 million in a striker who is already 29 years old? While there is a clear need for experienced heads in the squad, the ambition might be to target a more established global name if such an investment is to be made. The potential availability of such a clause, however, gives United a clear and straightforward mechanism to conduct business, should they decide it is the most expedient route. Further reinforcing the proactive nature of United's recruitment are the persistent links to another long-term target. Reports have emerged indicating that the club has presented a formal contract offer to Casemiro. The credibility of the source is often debated as they have a mixed record of accuracy, but they have occasionally broken stories that are later verified by more established journalists. This makes the information difficult to entirely dismiss. What adds weight to the rumour is that respected figures like David Ornstein have consistently noted that United retain a serious interest in the player, even if it was previously unclear whether that interest would crystallise into a concrete January bid. This potential move mirrors the club's approach from the summer window, where an offer was also tabled. It suggests a sustained and determined pursuit, a belief within the recruitment department that Casemiro possesses the specific attributes required to enhance the squad. Whether this latest reported offer will gain more traction than its predecessor remains to be seen, but it underscores a targeted and persistent strategy. Amidst these transfer speculations, the management of the current squad continues with meticulous care. The upcoming behind-closed-doors friendly against Arsenal at St George's Park is a prime example of this thoughtful approach. While it will offer valuable minutes to the club's most promising youngsters, its primary function is to serve as a controlled environment for players on the fringes of fitness. This includes individuals like Luke Shaw and Gabriel Jesus, who are in the final stages of injury recovery, as well as players like Mason Mount, who are fully fit, but have been deprived of consistent match action due to the competitive nature of the squad. This friendly is a vital tool for building sharpness and tactical familiarity away from the intense glare of Premier League football. This philosophy of gradual reintegration is perfectly exemplified by the situation of Lisandro Martinez. His presence on the bench is a signal of his physical readiness, but it does not mean he's prepared for a full 90-minute Premier League battle. His return will be a carefully managed process, likely beginning with a 15-minute cameo, progressing to 20 and then 30 minutes, then perhaps a second-half appearance, before he's finally deemed ready to start a match. Rushing this process could risk a devastating setback. This patient, scientific approach is essential for the long-term welfare of a player of his importance. Finally, the midfield considerations extend to another potential opportunity in the form of Joe Gomez. The Liverpool defender is understood to be very keen on a potential move to Old Trafford, and the club has duly noted his interest. However, his position on United's list of targets is clearly defined. He is viewed as an opportunistic signing rather than a primary target. The absolute priority for the midfield reinforcement remains Elliot Anderson of Benfica. The secondary target on the list is the highly rated Belgian Arthur Vermeeren, though a move for him is more likely to be feasible in the summer window. Therefore, the strategy appears to be focused on securing a midfield addition in January, with the ultimate goal of returning for Anderson in the summer. Gomez represents a viable and willing alternative should the primary plans encounter obstacles. A useful piece of squad-building business if the circumstances align, but not the player around whom the entire transfer strategy is being built.